Listen up, believers. Taking advice of the world can be very dangerous. Let me tell you why. Because worldlings are all about getting relief. They don't have the tools to solve things permanently and to secure the long-term well-being of themselves. They need God to do that. But because they don't submit it to the Most High, they are doomed to settle for cheap counterfeits, cheap debased counterfeits. And the paranormal may offer them some extended relief, which may appear to be a long-term solution, but it's not, because with the paranormal come side effects. So, worldlings, when it comes down to it, they're just lost. Even if someone is a pagan and you have um, some relief or some comfort because of it, it will expire sooner or later. And then you'll have to deal with the side effects come along with it. So, when you're dealing with advice of worldly people, you are dealing with people that can only grant you, uh, how would I say, can only grant you extended relief that they themselves have. And many of them don't even have that. So, let me give an example. In the world, a lot of people tell you forgive and forget, which is something they have from pagan Christianity. Now, on the short term, it will make you feel better, but on the long term, it will harm you. Why? Because forgiveness is Christian, but to forget what happened is pagan. You know why? Because in paganism, your word depends upon what the community wants. While in Christianity, your value is um, set, let me say, it's not set in stone, but your value is inherent for all eternity because you're made by the Most High. So to forgive is Christian, but what's also Christian is to process and to overcome. But in pagan Christianity, you're told to forgive and forget. Because when you process and overcome, the world will face repercussions for what they permit. So the world doesn't want that, so the world tells you forgive and forget, so that the world cannot be held accountable for you falling apart, but they also have to repent of their crimes. Some would say, never forget, and that keeps you in bitterness. Others would say, that it was your fault, or whatever. So in the world, it's all about coping, because they don't have long-term healing in the world. They don't. So whatever advice you get from the world, there will always be some side effect with it. Even if it appears very good. Some would say go no contact with people that are toxic. If someone is dangerous, then you should remove yourself from that situation and from that relationship. Period. You don't even need to have any guru or any teacher to tell you that. That's just common sense. It's natural. But a lot of worldlings, they just want relief. They don't want to deal with the root of stuff. So when they hear go no contact, you just think, oh, you just cut someone off and it's going to be fine. It's not how it works. Even if that individual that you leave behind was completely dangerous and it was the right thing for you to move away from that individual, if you don't deal with the deep-rooted spiritual issue that led to that situation, you are still stuck with that violence. Even if the perpetrator is gone, the violence is still there because it's not uprooted. So you mean listen to YouTube videos telling you to just go no contact, but hold on a minute. That's you dealing with a symptom. What led to that symptom to begin with? Oh, you have bad ways of thinking that are coping mechanisms that the world taught you. Well, you're not responsible for that individual to take advantage of those toxic defense mechanisms because you're not even aware those defense mechanisms were toxic. You didn't know any better, so you're not to blame. But even if the other is to blame, what you should do is what's best for you. And what's best for you is to unlearn those toxic defense mechanisms and to learn how to deal with dangerous circumstances and people in a proper and Christ-centered way. So there's some work that you ought to do on your own behalf. That's not blaming yourself, just doing what's proper. Look, if someone comes with a knife to stab you, okay, they're the ones with the bad intentions, not you. They're the ones that want to stab. So if they stab you, out of the blue, you didn't see it coming, hey, it's not you. What you should do now is go to the hospital and get treatment for being stabbed. Because if you're stabbed, but you keep complaining about being stabbed but still bleeding to death, then you're the ones contributing to your own death, even though the other ones want to stab you. That's what a lot of people do. They've been wounded, and now they're so upset with being wounded instead of looking for help to get rid of the wound. So, of course you should be upset, but should also focus on what's proper for you. But that second part is something a lot of worldlings don't want to hear. For them, For them, it feels like you're attacking them for not validating their hurt. Now, look at this. The people validate what happened to you is one thing, but to become addicted to the validation of your hurt, that's this that's one step from developing a victim mentality. And once you develop a victim mentality, you will keep on attracting the same harm over and over again, and you end up becoming an enabler, and sometimes you even become a perpetrator yourself. So people that invalidate your suffering, that's wrong. But to have people validating your pain all the time, that's also a trap. What should happen is you should want to find a solution. You should be active and participate in solutions all the time. And that's what a lot of world links don't do. That's why at that advice that world links want is really enablement. It may not appear that way, but that's what it is. The whole idea of standing up for yourself, enforcing boundaries, privacy, private life, and all of that is a coping mechanism that will harm you. Look, when perpetrators attack you and you respond with resistance, that resistance will be seen by others, but because others often don't see the provocation, they will see your resistance as a type of an attack. And now, those others who don't see the full picture will see you as an aggressor even though you're just defending yourself. And now, your self-defense is a trap that now angers other people. Now you have a whole group of people against you. And those group of people against you, if they later find out the truth, they now have to admit things about themselves that they don't want. So because they don't want to admit things about themselves, they will continue to blame you. So standing up for yourself, self-defense, boundaries, and all those stuff are defense mechanisms that will trap you in harm. What should happen is, okay, you shake up the situation off of you, you remove yourself from the situation, and you persist in a Christ-centered way. You forgive, you process, and you learn how to be attentive to your daily life and how to avoid the pattern cycles of the enemy. That is what should happen. But that also implies that you need to self-reflect and let go of all darkness that's inside of you. A lot of people have darkness that works for them. So because the darkness works for them on the short term, they think they have light in them. But the light they claim they have is darkness. That's why Christ said, beware that the light in you is not darkness. Because if the light that's in you is darkness, how big is the darkness? Then you're completely in the dark. And there are some believers who are completely in the dark, straight up. That's why I'm making this video. Beware with worldly advice. Worldlings may tell you things that will help you out, but if when they tell you things will help you out, look at the context. Okay? I don't tell you to disregard everything worldly people say, because worldlings can say practical and beneficial things from time to time. But always check the context. And remember that they're not Christ-centered. Well, that's it for now. That's why it's best to link with believers and to get your advice from believers who are walking by faith. That's it for now. Keep on agreeing with Christ. Keep on agreeing with Him, because that's where solutions are. Be at peace.